Yeah, sure, let's dive and okay.
Hey you! Does your WolfPack experience suck? Are you missing a little more depth to your game? Do you want a more realistic experience? Then you should learn German.
German? But why German?
Halt die Klappe! German was the spoken language on U-boats, and knowing only some simple commands can make your WolfPack experience a lot more fun.
But I already know some German words. I know ja and nein and Bratwurst.
Mein Freund, that is not nearly enough. Let's learn some German.
But I don't want to.
You will fucking do as you're told, or I'll force you to play Imperator Rom.
No, please, no Imperator Rom. Okay, let's learn German. Welcome.
Hello everyone, my name is GameStach, and welcome to this semi-WolfPack tutorial, German edition. And in this video I will teach you some useful commands that were used in German U-boats. A little disclaimer before I begin. I am not German. My grandmother was German and some parts of my family tree are German. But I was born and have lived in the Netherlands my entire life, but I've always lived close to the German border. And therefore I've been exposed to a lot of German. So I can understand it fluently but not speak it fluently. So the message to my German viewers is therefore: Möchtet ihr irgendwelche Fehler aufmerken, bitte ich euch, die in den comments zu schreiben. Okay, that sentence probably already contains some errors. And also, before we begin, when I tell Dutch friends that I speak quite okay German, their reaction is always,
German? But German sounds so aggressive.
shut the fuck up. No, but seriously, I really don't understand that. I mean, when most people hear Germany, they automatically think of World War II. But if you factually compare Dutch and German, you actually hear that Dutch sounds a lot more aggressive than German. Just a quick comparison. The Dutch and German word for good morning. In German we have Guten Morgen, and in Dutch we have Goeiemorgen. But anyway, let's get started. Let's start with a word you might already know. And that word is jawohl. Jawohl is said in response to a command. So if the captain tells you to flood the ballast tanks, you say jawohl. It means yes, but it's not really the same as yes, because the word for yes is ja. But let's just forget that. Just remember to say jawohl. But jawohl, anyone can say jawohl. Let's increase the difficulty a bit. It was also very common to state the rank of the person who gave the command. I mean, there are a lot of possibilities for the rank of the commander, but let's just assume that he is a captain lieutenant. In German, you would then say Kapitänleutnant, but they also had to include the sex of the commander, so they would actually have to say Jawohl, Herr Kapitänleutnant. But that of course takes a very long time to say, and so they've abbreviated that into Jawohl, Herr Kaloin. So that's what you have to remember. Jawohl, Herr Kaloin. Try it. Jawohl, Herr Kaloin. Okay, that sounded awful, but you'll get there eventually. Also, I will try to give a command for every role, and that way everyone can say at least 1 or 2 sentences in German. Okay, now let's say you're on the deck, and you're looking through your binoculars, and you're searching for a ship, and oh, you see one, but how do you say that in German? The phrase for that is Schiff gesichtet. Okay, let's take that apart. Okay, so the SCH might be a bit difficult to say, but you have to start with the S sound and then make a sh sound. So it's Schiff, and then the last word is gesichtet. So if you say it quickly, you say Schiff gesichtet. Okay, now you try. Schiff gesichtet. Well, not ideal, but you're getting better. The next command is used to let everyone know you're going to dive. This command is even a bit longer. The command is Klaarmachen zum Tauchen, and it means get ready to dive. And it is something that only the commander will say. So let's just quickly take it apart. We first have klaar, then machen, zum tauchen. So don't say klaar, say klaar, then machen. So it's a soft G. Don't say zoom. The Z is like a TS sound, so you say zoom. So pretend you're saying zoom in on your camera, but instead of the Z sound, you say tz, zoom. And then again, tauchen. So quickly you get klaarmachen zum Tauchen. As you know from the game, there are some things you need to do before you can actually dive. You will first need to fill the ballast tanks and set the dive plane downwards. The captain says fluten, which means flood. And by flood he means flood the ballast tanks. The opposite of this is anblazen. So now you're diving and now you want to specify to which depth you want to go. To do this, you say auf Meter gehen. This literally means on meter go. The amount of meters you will have to fill in on the dots. That may seem like a bit of a strange order for the words, but that's quite normal in Germanic languages. Ah, shit. Of course, now you will have to learn how to say all those numbers in German. I'm not going to teach you that, of course. There are videos if you want to really learn that. But I'm going to teach you a bit of a cheaty way to get around this. So let's just say you want to get down to 40 meters. You could, of course, say, go to 40 meters. But you could also say, go to 40 meters. And by this method, you would only have to learn the numbers from 1 to 9 in German. So I will now give you the numbers from 1 to 9 in German. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So for simplicity, I'm just going to assume you're from an English-speaking country. If that is the case, then you're probably going to have some trouble with those diphthongs, the EI sounds. If you have to say those letters, just pretend you're saying the word I. And remember for zwei, that again, it's not zwei, it's zwei. Okay, let's just see if you learned anything. My question is, how do you say go to 40 meters using the method we've just learned? Pause the video here. Okay, did you manage to figure it out? The correct answer is auf 40 Meter gehen. Okay, so we're now underwater. Let's say we want to surface again. What's the command for that? Oh, you've seen the word for dive, that was tauchen. And the word for surface is very conveniently auftauchen. Now let's go to some commands for navigating. If you want to give a command to change the course, you do that in the following way. For this you say neuer Kurs, followed by the number of degrees of your course. Again, for this you will have to use the numbers we've just learned. So let's just say you want to go on course 110, you say neuer Kurs 110. You can also tell your crew to change the rudder to a certain degree. To do this you say Ruder, Grad, Steuerbord, or Backbord. This means rudder and then followed by an amount, degrees starboard or port. I don't want to overload you guys with a whole bunch of commands, so I will end with some commands for the engines. To put both engines on full speed, you say beide Maschine volle Fahrt voraus. Again, a bit of a long sentence, so we start with beide, then Maschinen. You can cheat here by not pronouncing the N at the end because you will not really hear the difference. The V in German is almost always pronounced as an F sound, so it's volle. Then the most hilarious word, fart. So funny, yes! But it's not pronounced as the English word fart. The A sound is actually a bit longer, so it sounds more like fart. Okay, that kind of still sounded like the word for fart, but never mind. And then the final word, voraus. Beide Maschine volle Fahrt voraus. And the command to stop both engines is a bit easier. It's just beide Maschine stop. So here the difficulty is probably the S sound in stop. It's not stop, but you will have to add in a little J sound there. So it's stop. And finally, the most well-known command in submarines, which is of course alarm. And that translates to, could you all please be so kind as to tell me the nearest location of a bar? No, of course not. It means alarm. And this command was used to initiate a crash dive. And there's also a button in the submarine, at least in the game WolfPack, where you can sound the alarm. And that concludes my list of German commands. Which ones did I miss? Or did I make any mistakes? Please let me know down in the comments below. Be sure to leave a like if you've enjoyed this video, and if you're not already, why not subscribe to my channel? That way you can keep up to date with my latest videos. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.